Every now and then, it really sucks to have to cover the news, to deliver a story to people that has a chance to ruin their day. There are likely lots of people watching this video right now who spent their hard earned cash on a gift for themselves or a significant person in their life to help them complete a collection they've been working on for years. It maybe has been 20 years since we got the last new A Song of Ice and Fire novel, but at least those fans have been able to celebrate having some actual illustrated editions come out and new interpretations of the fantasy world they love, Westeros, passionately drawn by some of the best fantasy artists out there, and of course with meticulous oversight from George R. R. Martin himself. Right? Well, the latest illustrated edition release for Feast for Crows came out on November 4th, and didn't take long for people to start noticing that the art within the books sure looks AI generated. And I'm going to have to be careful with what I say here with allegedlys and looks to be likes because I don't want to get in trouble. But let's just start off by setting a baseline here, right? Let's look at some of the art that was included in the first Penguin House Game of Thrones, first book in the Song of Ice and Fire series, illustrated edition. Look at this magnificent, beautiful, huge throne with fine lines and dutiful guards that make complete sense there. And the whole thing is just filled with gorgeous pieces like this from artists like Magalali Villeneuve. Okay, dyslexia moment. Should have looked at that ahead of time. But these are some of the best fantasy artists out there because, of course, they're getting to work on A Song of Ice and Fire. Wouldn't it be a damn shame if a publisher stopped recording my audio there for a second? Wouldn't it be a damn shame if a publisher just decided to cheap out on that for this next entry, right? Well, I'll let you decide for yourself if this looks AI generated to you or not. Let's look closely, not only at that funky gauntlet and how this arm here doesn't line up at all, but do you notice how this character maybe shouldn't have this hair in this scene? Details and scenes that AI would likely get wrong, but an artist given a task and a carefully crafted brief wouldn't. What if I told you this was not one of the absolute worst examples? Would you believe me? Because holy smokes, are there some real big indicators that we have all just been given a huge heaping slop fest of AI for the Feast for Crows, a Feast for Crows illustrated edition. This includes the general smeariness of AI art, the light sources and shadowing on people being chaotic and not making much sense. Again, strap hell, where there are just random straps on people's outfits that seem to not do much, and buttons and things in places that are just thrown all over the place. And then just blue, and also what is this? What the chair fabric is under the chair. I don't know why we've taken the fabric under the chair there. But also, the biggest red flag for me, outside of all of this, if you want to look over our boy's shoulder here, does that look like a crucifix on the wall to anyone? Or just me and a bunch of people online pointing it out? It actually does look like it has Jesus on it, too, if I look. Oh, it looks like it half generated on and then not. Oh, God. And some people might say, why does this matter? Who cares? They're just at least pretty-ish looking illustrations of Westeros. Did you see the first one we looked at? Let's cut back to this page here. This is stunning. It has so much detail that you can pick out the exact characters, moments, and scenes from the books that are being brought to life. All of them have personality and intention and really feel like you're getting a glimpse into a story you deeply, deeply love. They match a tone and atmosphere, and they're doing that without color in these illustrations. Tell me, like, okay, I get a sense of awe here, dread here, adventure. Ah, lovely. We cut back over to this. I get a sense of apparently AI loves using blue, and there is so gratuitous much of it in here. Again, just weird warping faces and things along those lines. Also, we have like the demonic stretch mouth face that you see a lot in AI art with these back ones here, which is kind of surprising to me because a lot of like AI art I've been seeing in recent months is like so good, I'm starting to be afraid I won't recognize it anymore. No, this in my opinion, I want to make that very clear, does look like AI art. And I will, without shame, if it comes out that this is not AI art, come here on my channel and apologize by name to the artist. I'll admit, hey, not my style, but I just was wrong here. But let's look at some more, shall we? I have a inkling I'm not. I have a slight inkling. Wait, look at the stained glass behind Cersei and Tommen in the throne room. That's straight up a cathedral window. It doesn't have the Faith of the Seven spin on it like it did in the show and does in other art. Plus the stained wait, what? No! Oh my god. Yeah, like this arm doesn't even connect there, right? Again, just blue. Cersei would totally be wearing that big blue dress. Just what in the hell? There's no sigil or specific ice and fire markers of any kind in any of these images. Most of these scenes, I have no idea what scenes they are. Fair. God, what's even happening? It's just there's so many weird points where if you were someone making this, wouldn't you also like? Oh wow. So just to let you all know, the AFFC Illustrated Edition is like almost definitely AI, LOL, and I'd argue has taken pretty hard inspiration from existing fan art. I don't remember if this is pulling from a specific scene enough to make that claim, but there is a focus effect on one of these that sure does look like. Again, this is a tricky spot for me because all I can say right now is allegedly this looks like artificial intelligence made art, and it's not making fans happy, that's for sure. After doing some more digging, I found the credited artist for these interiors, and it was listed all over the place online, quite frankly, because people are trying to figure out what's going on. And it's a man named Jeffrey McDonald. And if you look at the other art he's previously done, I would say the style's not exactly what I would call a match, in my opinion. Though, whether or not this is a decision the artist made or something the publisher did, that remains to be known, because we also have had in this article highlighted the fact that the CEO of Penguin has bulked at the idea that AI would get rid of jobs for artists, and that is a massive red flag for me. Potentially they tried to pay Jeffrey less and then do some kind of AI filler over base sketches. Who knows? But whatever the end result is here, even Pips is quite upset about it. This has been blowing up even further because of a post on Reddit where people are getting into details, with some of the big red flags being heavy use of blue, even on characters where it makes little to no sense. Cersei, Jaime, Marjorie, Tommen, Euron, lack of banners and heralds throughout, lions, which you would expect in mass, nowhere to be seen. There's a Christian cross in the image of Sam punching Daeron. The one of Lady Stoneheart looks awfully like a fan art depiction. Victorian bizarrely wielded two swords in this art. He has an axe and a shield in the book. Jesus. General look of genericism around the whole thing. Yep, the image of Euron and one of the Cersei sitting at the foot of the Iron Throne, which looks quite a lot like the show's version. It's not looking awesome, and this mega sucks more than it just being some special edition or even just being a first book in a series from a major series special edition. This is deep in a collection people have been working on putting this out like this, allegedly. And again, if I'm proven wrong, I will happily apologize here. I won't even feel that bad because I'll just say, hey, you have to see the red flags here for AI art too, right? But there's a bigger issue beyond the bad luck because George R. R. Martin is currently involved with a lawsuit against AI when it's using his books. But on top of that, this is one of the biggest series in fantasy. If this is ignored and let to just pass, and it is use of AI art and people don't put feet to the fire here, it gives permission for so many to follow in its wake. Well, if Song of Ice and Fire did it, everyone, oh my God. Something else that's just bothering me the more I think about this is the deluxe book space has a lot of small companies operating within it that do not have massive overheads and rely on fans that believe their special editions will be high quality. They're willing to pay extra to get art from trusted, vetted artists to interpret their worlds. If suddenly it starts getting talked about how frequently there's just going to be AI slop shoved into special editions, and as AI art gets better and gets harder to spot, well, way to break trust with the consumer. And suddenly this niche area that does help generate a lot of revenue for artists and creatives who like to bind and decorate these books could just go kaput, because I sure as hell will not spend money on a book that has any potential to have AI in it. So now every deluxe deluxe bookmaker out there, I need to like check to see if this is going to be a thing. And it's just, God damn it. Can we please have one area of our life, art, and escapism that isn't fouled by this? But beyond all of that, it makes me really start to question, is George at the wheel in any way, shape, or form anymore for this franchise? I mean, there have been so many, as we covered recently in our Is the Franchise Dying segment with the guest hosts on Fantasy News, projects that have been half-assed, lack of direction. Even their biggest success currently, House of the Dragon, has its issues. It's way better than a lot of just the blind internet hate will make you think, but what made A Song of Ice and Fire the book series special and A Game of Thrones the show special is they had very specific visions, like successful adaptations of Tolkien work. They want to adapt those right. They take something that took years and years and years to develop and they produce a product based off of that. And if there is not a stronger representation of how the franchise feels right now in terms of just 100 different things being thrown at the wall. And some of them might be successes, don't get me wrong, but it makes A Song of Ice and Fire, Westeros, the franchise, feel a whole lot more like modern Star Wars than any kind of, I don't know, boundary breaking franchise it used to be. And now we're seeing that same degradation of quality potentially, allegedly, bleed into the actual books that are going to be sold to us on shelves as well. And you won't be told beforehand, your order's already on its way. Good luck canceling it. That sucks. That sucks a lot. Like and subscribe if you have not already. Hit the Patreon if you want to support what I do here. And I want to bring you back this last visual real quick so we can all just sit on it for a second. Hold up. Bye.